This is the book of Isaiah. This is not Isaiah, Salakia. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, beginning at verse 1, and it reads, "The burden or prophecy of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see." Verse 2, lift ye up a banner, which is the scriptures, upon the high mountain, which is, this government of Babylon the Great. Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. The gates represent the leaders, and we know the leaders of this place known as Babylon the Great, aka America, is the rich elite Babylonian bankers, the Edomite bankers, the Amalekite bankers. The scriptures tell you that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Pursuant to the book of Malachi chapter 1, it says Esau Edom is the border of wickedness. So again, the elites are the leaders or the gates of the nobles. Verse 3, I have commanded my sanctified ones, which are the prophets. I have also called my mighty ones, which are the Alahayim, or the angels, for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. Verse 4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahweh meaning he is, he exists. Ba'ashem, Ba'azin, Hazda, Shem his name. Yahushai meaning he saves or he deliverer. True names of the Most High God and His Son, who you ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. The Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, mustereth the battle. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Kohalayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha HaKodash. And honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwath out there listening and learning, Lord willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's the brother Yawasap, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This lesson is inspired through the Spirit on a video that I watched by, what's his name, Dabu7. Brother's familiar with that individual, brings out a lot of truth. Me, myself, I believe he's an Edomite. I've heard brothers say that he might be Jake. Nonetheless, the scriptures tell you that their tongues shall fall upon themselves. And ultimately, the scriptures also say, the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord will fall upon all flesh, roughly paraphrase. So, at the end of the day, everything is going compliant to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And, Dabu's always brought out good information. I knew about certain things, but I didn't know about this. So I'm going to say right now, fair use, Copyright Act 107. I'm not profit enough for this. I'm just going to play the video and line up some things said with what the scriptures say. Because, scriptures tell you never trust thine enemy. A lot of these politicians get into, they sell you hopes and dreams, and like when I was coming up, we would say you sell a female a dream, you tell her what you want to hear, and that's what these politicians do to you, 2/3, and to you Edomites, and the heathen and whatnot. They pretty much tell y'all what y'all want to hear, but at the end of the day, they have to follow a script. That's why, and they look out for their own. That's why, I remember the elder mentioning, what's going on with, what's his name, Eric Adams, and pretty much, basically Trump say when he get in office, he's gonna go ahead and just pretty much pardon him. So, again, like, it's a club that you ain't a part of, and that's what's gonna be one of the reasons what's going to have these people flip the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, so, Lord willingly, 2025 is that year. When you take time to look at it, and Germantia is a 9. 9 could be symbolic of a wicked number, but at the end of the day, all things work to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So Again, I'm gonna play this video. Lord willingly is edifying.
This is Dabu 7. We have Russia saying they're not satisfied and rejecting Trump's proposals to end the Ukraine war. Now, Trump had put on the table that he wants to make a pledge, and that pledge is that Ukraine would not join NATO for 20 years as part of this potential peace deal.
Yeah, but again, the scriptures tell you never trust thine enemy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, my brother brought out, you got to remember, just like ancient Rome, you know, the modern day beast, which is NATO and the EU, you know, that's the whole issue why this war is going on. You know, NATO is trying to expand, you know, and, you know, all those nations know that it's pretty much going to be, you know, war if they let Ukraine join. But the thing is, Russia has already made the statement that NATO has declared war. So it wasn't surprising to me that he rejected. You know, Trump is a lot of talk. You know, the elder said, you know, he a fool too because he's going, you know, he's such a, you know, prideful a bully that he gonna run in head first, not understanding, you know, the situation. And you got to remember, he's not a military man. I'm sure he has military advisors, but he doesn't know anything about probably war. He probably knows strategy because, you know, he's a businessman, but he's not a very good businessman. Like the elder said, and I remember that, you know, that guy lost his fortune a couple times. He just, you know, he's in the upper echelons where, you know, I heard Dame Dash say something one time. He was like, when you got a team and all your team making money, he say, if you got 10 guys that's all millionaires, well, boom, each guy can go ahead and shoot you 100,000 and pretty much you'll be back a millionaire. So, you know, once you're dealing with certain elite individuals, you know what I mean? That's why you got rappers and shit like they was talking about, like with Meek Mills, you know. I think Meek Mills just dropped the album, but I don't really listen to Meek Mills. But the point being, you know, that's why he'll degrade himself by jumping up and down for that one Edomite that you could tell, you could just look at his eyes and tell he a feminine, like he a homosexual. What's his name? That has the white parties. You know, yeah, Diddy had white parties, and then it's Edomite. What, you know, and nobody ever talks about these parties, but they all always go when they're invited. And the only person I seen say he wasn't going was the guy Kai Cenat. You know, which that got to be a fucked up situation. Not to digress, but I'll be thinking about that because, you know, he didn't expect to blow up the way he blew up, but now, you know, he's so popular. I remember Kamala Harris was trying to use this platform to run, and he was like, wait, spazzing out, like, I don't want to be involved with no politics and none of that shit. So how do you really like maneuver through that? You know, because you got a whole bunch of gatekeepers, you know. But Salakia.
Another part of that is that Trump wants European troops to deploy to Ukraine to monitor any future ceasefire. And some are raising eyebrows at that, like, does that need to happen? And Russia's looking at it like, no, that's European troops coming into Ukraine, and they're just walking right up to the front lines. Now, if you just judge by Trump's own interviews, like the one from Time magazine on December 12th, he's talking about freezing hostilities along the lines of engagement and transferring further responsibility for confronting Russia to the Europeans. This is what Lavrov's saying they're not satisfied with any of this, and they do not want to see this peacekeeping contingent of UK and European forces in Ukraine. Now, Trump campaigned on ending the proxy war in Ukraine.
But Trump has no power over this. You know, this is all prophecy. The scriptures talk about in the book of Isaiah, pretty much, you know, matter of fact, let me get it. Isaiah chapter 9. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5, and it says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. You know, scriptures talk about in the book of Isaiah chapter, what's that, 34? Start at verse 1, and it reads Isaiah chapter 34 verse 1, come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people, let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. Verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountain shall be melted with their blood. The governments. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, because that's going into that nuclear bomb going off. When you go into like a scroll being rolled or a mushroom cloud, it looks like how a scroll will open up, how that smoke go up in the air. When you look at like like they got images and still images of a picture of the bomb going off, and it looks like a big ass mushroom cloud. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Because that's how the missile is going to be falling. For my sword, which is the missile, because the sword and the missile is both shaped kind of similar. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, meaning that sword is going to fly through the heavens. What can fly through the heavens that's shaped like a sword? An ICBM, or intercontinental ballistic missile. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which we know Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Verse 6, the sword of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is those ICBMs, or intercontinental ballistic missiles, is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, which was the capital of Edom, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So ultimately, this is all being, this was preordained from the beginning of the world. I think I had another one. Matter of fact, I had, because at the end of the day, Trump could say he's going to do this, he's going to do that. But again, they tell you and sell y'all dreams. The scriptures talk about in the book of Isaiah, chapter 46 and verse 9, that the end was declared from the beginning. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 46 and verse 9, and it reads, remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there's none else. I am the Most High, and there's none like me. Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. That's the spirit, because I was looking for that scripture earlier. Because I was looking for the Lord going to do his pleasure. The scriptures tell you in the book of Sirach, chapter 18, or Ecclesiasticus, that all things obey the will of the Lord. So fuck what DJ Trump talking about. He's set up, and he may not even intentionally know what he's doing, but he's set up to, like the elder said, I see why the elder said that you don't want to be presumptuous. It's all ultimately the will of the Lord. Like I was speaking about hurricane season. I kept on saying, because the Lord was fucking this place up with the hurricane. So I'm like, we going to have another hurricane. And the spirit hit me like, well, if it's the will of the Lord. And right after I did that, that's when another tornado hit. Hurricane or tornado season only supposed to last to like the end of November. You got storms going on now. So, the Lord really is fed up with this place. And I can just see through the spirit. Now, I could be wrong. Like the elder said, if it ain't this guy, then, we might be here to 2030 sometime. But the thing is, the new agenda, 2030 was a thing. But now the new thing is that 2025, the plan for the future, And when you look at the legislation of that and what all they got in there, yeah, that could very well be it. I was watching Richie from Boston, and Richie from Boston was bringing out some information that I'm going to bring out. I just got to set it up the way I want to set it up. There's so much, so many lessons. Like I say, I've been listening to certain things, but it's something major going on, especially with artificial intelligence. Like if you haven't been checking it out, go check on that. They're basically trying to say that the AI pretty much has reached God mode. So, as if like they doing like the Terminator where Starlink, or whatever the fuck it was called, where they went online. And then you got all these planes crashing. It's a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Again, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like, because these devils is desperate. You know what I'm saying? It's a saying, they just shooting from the hip. When you don't take the time to aim, you just shooting anywhere. Like, out of desperation. When you desperate, like, if you ever been in a real shootout, you know, I know certain elders and certain brothers actually been in the wars or been been in the service. So, you know, but when you shoot, you supposed to take time to take aim. You know, when people shooting at you, you can become nervous. So you got to learn, like, you got to get used to that. That ain't something that just come overnight. But when you nervous and you just shoot from the hip, that's why they, you know, make fun of Jake. They be like, Jake can't shoot. But that ain't the truth. Some Jake can shoot. You know, when we was younger, we learned how to shooting BB gun. So, you know, at the end of the day, that's Esau's blessing, first of all. But my point being, you know, it's a sniper that come on Vlad TV that look like a Jake. You know, and the funny part is he went into how he was a Freemason and his dad was a Freemason, but they never went up the level, or so he allegedly, that's what he says. But he was like a badass sniper. So, you know what I mean? Again, Jake is the former of all things. You know, so I forgot why I digressed, but point being, it ain't Donald Trump's will, it's Yahweh Shem Yahushua will. So, you know, and the scriptures talk about how, you know, pretty much this place is going to be destroyed by ICBMs.
But it's still unclear how he intends to do that. Now, he assured NATO countries that U.S. military aid would continue to flow to Ukraine after his inauguration. When he said before he was cutting the money off, he was stopping it, all that is out the window.
Never trust thine enemy, you know what I'm saying? Scriptures talk about, that's going for Jake, but the scriptures to even tell, you know, it says, put not thy confidence in princes. It says, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, so on and so forth. So again, if you put trust in these politicians, and to show you how blinded these people really are, you know, it's like really witchcraft, which it is to a degree. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, like the elders going into, like, you got these zombies of certain camps where, you know what I mean, they can't snap about that spell. What you telling them don't make no sense, but they don't take the time to question, you know what I mean, or anything. They just blindly following some shit. But then it ain't just as sweet as it once was, because, you know, people can feel something spiritually. That's probably why he got to do all that damage control. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like, you got people, I know people in the world that's talking about they can feel something. Now you got a lot of people blinded. You know what I mean? Like, I was talking to this one female, and she up there talking about, yeah, well, you get a passport. I'm thinking, like, bitch, I ain't about to get no passport. Fuck you be talking about? Like, we not about to go nowhere. We probably about to get locked down, but, you know, sell them a dream. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, here at the end of the day, tell her what she want to hear. You know what I mean? I'd have sent her videos, showed her, you know, just really are, like, these people really, because they don't want to accept it. You know what I mean? Like, they just that's why so many people want me butthurt. How the fuck can you trust? I was listening to the elder today. You know, for their cap. He like, why would you want to stay in a system like this that they trying to set up? Why would you trust this devil after everything he has done? His track record is the receipts. Like, why the fuck would you? But, you know, scriptures talk about in that book of Jeremiah chapter 2. Why trimmest thou ways to seek love? You know, our people has really got the Stockholm syndrome. Salakia. I didn't mean to do that. All kind of little weird shit going on. Salakia.
But it's still unclear how he intends to do that. Now, he assured NATO countries that U.S. military aid would continue to flow to Ukraine after his inauguration. When he said before he was cutting the money off, he was stopping it, all that is out the window. Wonder what else is going to get switched around. So,
because the thing is, he doesn't really have power like y'all think. Yeah, he got a power to a degree, but at the end of the day, he follows a script. Just like all them politicians do. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if this shit don't get locked down again, because now the next thing, this big thing or epidemic that's going on is what? That BIRD, you know? Woohoo, you know? So, you know, again, they setting the stage for some real dirty shit. You know, if you pay attention right now, they doing a lot of sweeps. You know, they sweeping all of Cleveland. That's probably not just going on in this city. There's probably sweeps going on all around the country.
All this, and they're like, you better have something way better than that, or there is no peace plan, And it's still war in Ukraine. And you guys are still supporting it. It's still your proxy war. We all know this.
So he showed you really his hand is as tight and powerful as you thought. You know what I mean? You don't think Putin realized what the fuck? You know, they knew it was a proxy. What you talking about? You don't think yeah, Putin probably wanted Trump in office more because whatever backdoor deals they doing. You know, I found out something about that artificial star that China was making through Richie from Boston, and I'm gonna research that a little bit. But these motherfuckers really don't think that they'll come out of power. Like that ain't just got to do with China. So I'm gonna research it and make sure that my information is accurate and correct. But yeah, that's deep. You know what I mean? On some Matrix type shit. So lock in for my Swahili.
So it doesn't look like that's going to happen out the gate or anytime soon with what they have worked up. Now, I also find it very odd that Zelensky is reaching out to this new leader of the new Syria, saying that we want to work together, hand in hand, and they're shedding more light on how they helped everything that happened in Syria. Ukraine did. Zelensky, behind the scenes. We're going to leave some links so you guys can read into the further details of the stuff. I'll break it down on the next live stream, going live Monday, Wednesday.
So, and also if that's enough, and if Ukraine was behind the scenes doing things, then that means Babylon the Great, aka America, was behind the scenes as well. I did a video about how Putin said, you know, pretty much they could reach so many targets America, and I listed it because this was in the newspaper, and I think they got a shadow ban. These motherfuckers ain't shit. Because I'm like, people watching videos, they don't watch every video, right? Even if it's just one person. But ain't nobody watch this particular video on whatever platform I'm on. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know that this is the right thing. The Lord got us, you know what I mean? If you are the elect, no matter what the fuck these devils come with, because at the end of the day, and like I said, they desperate. Out of your desperation, you're going to give power to a fucking, like, and I read somewhere years ago that pretty much the AI was like, they was calling up spirits, you know, like it was Satan or some shit like that, you know what I mean? But, I mean, who's to say, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they talking about basically the AI it doesn't need you to program it anymore. It's basically making its own, like, making its own moves. And that's why they saying that pretty much you got all these planes falling out the air, crashing. They try to say it's birds and shit, but in actuality, it's, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's so much shit going on. But I can see that, you know, you people so stupid, you know what I mean? Like, literally, look at this fucking thing. That don't even look like no plane. Oh, no, I do. But, these people so stupid again. You got people seeing orbs, but then you got people talking about the drones, you know what I mean? Like, people believing it. Then you got people that ain't even looking up. They concerned that what P. Diddy doing. And, you know what I mean? Fuck P. Diddy. And Jay-Z. Them motherfuckers received their constellation. Motherfuckers ain't helped Jake in no kind of way. And the things that they did do wasn't really no help. And that's how, I forgot where I read that or heard that. It was like, basically, once you make a certain threshold in that industry, Esau doesn't allow you to help Jake. And that make a lot of sense. At the end of the day, like I used to tell Jake, no matter how much money you got, you still a nigga. And P. Diddy used to say that. P. Diddy used to say that. So there's certain things that they were saying that was kind of righteous, but at the end of the day, true righteousness would have been what? To expose the system. To literally, like, I mean, like, if you really all about your fucking people, but a lot of that shit be for charade and talk. Like I said, he loved his people to the point he was raping them. That's a terrible judgment, man. Like I said, I don't know what I would do if some motherfucker done drugged me and took my butt. Man, listen. And the thing is, some people wasn't getting drugged. They was willingly on it. Let's lock in for the digression. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 16. And the point is, I'm going to start at verse 1 and it reads, Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. You know. The scripture talk about putting on a rough garment when you mourning. I forgot exactly how it's worded, but and the Lord about to fuck this place up. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Like that's the spirit, because I didn't even remember that was in there. I don't give a fuck what Donald Trump called himself trying to do. At the end of the day, it's prophesied for this place to be destroyed by ICBM missiles. And that's what's going to take place. You can't turn it back. Donald Trump can't. Biden can't. Zelensky can't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck what y'all call yourself planning. Ultimately, the only thing that's going on is, these individuals, these kings of the earth, is rousing up the spirits of war. That's all. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent out unto you. So like it, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. And what can make the foundations of the earth quake and shake? I think that's in Jeremiah as well. The earth should shake. Those ICBMs, the impact, when they hit and touch the earth, it's going to bring fire and shake the earth. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof are also before the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward. Once the Lord put the spirit on these, this is like with the situation when Putin shot that hypersonic missile, and they couldn't stop it. I made a statement. I wasn't calling Putin a Jake. I was just saying, he did something like a Jake would do on some like I'm a boss type shit. But at the same time, I thought about it afterwards, and I was like, well, damn, he really did some prideful shit too. You got to remember, Jake was in that land, but we know based on the scriptures and the prophecy, it's going to be Esau taking down Esau. It says like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And that's Ezra, asking like, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And that goes into reincarnation as well, because he's seeing in the future. He's seeing the destruction that, he like, how I'm gonna survive this? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And the only thing you can do is get right with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because, that's the power that's bringing the evils. And he's bringing the deliverance as well. So if you're not right with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you're going to be missile food. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, to the statutes, and to the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth to you. I say shalom. Till next time, Lord, willingly. Shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah. Wa